Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be my TV and movie wrap up for January and February. Since the beginning of the year, I have watched 6 movies and 2 TV shows. Both TV shows I'm currently watching. One of them is airing and one of them I'm just binging, I guess. Well, binging I feel like you do in like a day, but I guess I'm slowly watching a TV show. I haven't really been watching a lot because I've mainly been watching this one TV show that I'll talk about, so I've just been kind of watching that, and I'm trying to keep up with more new releases movie-wise. I do want to get better at watching movies that I'm excited about or that I want to watch, so I do need to get a little bit better at that, but let's get into the wrap-up. So I'm going to start with the movies first. 2 of them are rewatches. So I did rewatch Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. I've mentioned in my previous TV and movie wrap-up videos that 2 of my friends have never seen the Harry Potter movies. So I've been watching or rewatching the movies with my friends, which has been very fun. We still have yet to watch the last movie. It's nice now that I've read the books that I can point out things that weren't in the movies that were in the books or vice versa. It's just been great watching them with my friends, and I'm very excited to rewatch the last one. Then I watched Gabriel's Redemption Part 1, which I gave 3 out of 5 stars. I did make a whole video on all 3 parts, so I will link that video down below if you want to know more of my thoughts, but I did watch all 3 movies. Part 1, like I said, I gave 3 out of 5 stars. Same with Part 2 and Part 3. This is a Passionflix adaptation of the book by Sylvain Renard. This is the 3rd book and the 3rd trilogy, because it's like a trilogy within a trilogy, if that makes sense. This is obviously the 3rd movie, 3rd series, so I don't really want to spoil it for you, but the first movie is Gabriel's Inferno. The story essentially follows Julia, who goes to college, who ends up falling in love with her professor, Gabriel, who she actually has a very secret past with. The Gabriel's Inferno franchise is officially over, which is so sad. I did really enjoy the movies overall. Like, they're not perfect, they're not award-winning movies, but I did enjoy the experience, and I did enjoy having actors to Gabriel and Julia. I do feel like Giulio Barudi and Melanie Zanetti have been perfect as Gabriel and Julia, especially Giulio. I just think he truly embodied Gabriel and just really lived with that character, and I loved his portrayal of Gabriel. He was just perfect. I loved Melanie. Her acting was sometimes kind of off in this specific movie, I would say, but overall I loved them, and I'm very happy with how this series turned out. I do think it could have been better somewhere else, but I love Passionflix and I do love to support them. I love what they're trying to do, but their adaptations do kind of lack a little bit. All the actors are pretty great as well. I will say these last 3 movies didn't feel as awkward or as forced as the previous movies. This one felt a little bit more natural. I definitely could see an improvement in Passionflix with these last 3 movies, but overall they're not my favorites. I don't think I truly love any of the movies in this franchise, but I have enjoyed them and they have been an easy watch. Unfortunately, they're very, very long, so I don't know if I ever will rewatch them, but it has been nice to finally finish this series, and I'm still curious on whether or not they're going to do Gabriel's Promise in the future. And then the last movie that I watched was Through My Window Looking at You. This is the 3rd and final movie in the Through My Window trilogy. This I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. I could see myself bumping it up to a 3-star, but I think I'd have to rewatch it to fully decide that. I'm just going to read the IMDb summary for this movie because I am not going to explain it properly. After the events of the summer, Aries and Raquel can't find a way to carry on their relationship and decide to go their separate ways. When they see each other again in the winter, the love and attraction they feel for each other is undeniable. I will leave all of my past videos that I've done on the first and second movie down below if you want to know my thoughts of the first 2 movies, but quick summary. I loved the first movie. I think I originally gave it 3 or 3.5 out of 5 stars, and it's more so like a 4-star movie for me. The second movie I did not like. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars, and this one obviously I gave 2.5 to like a 3-star. Also, for reference, I have read the first book in this series. I haven't read the other books. I definitely liked it more than the second movie. I will say that. There were still some things I didn't love in this movie, but for the most part, it was an improvement from the second one. I felt like there was a little bit more connection between Ares and Raquel in this one, which is something that was missing in the second movie for me. The acting was pretty solid in this one. I liked the performances from everybody, obviously specifically from Clara and Julio. I feel like they did such a great job with their characters. This movie did feel a little bit more similar to the first movie, and there was a lot of similar scenes or a lot of parallels from the first movie, which I enjoyed. Obviously, I don't want to spoil too much, but like in the first movie, Ares is hiding his relationship with Raquel, especially from his family, because his family is very controlling and they just want him to focus on the family business. So that was similar to the first movie. The ending was also kind of similar. The like intense main scene was kind of similar, which I liked that. And I liked how Ares, he was essentially like willing to possibly die for Raquel, which was crazy because the second movie was so unpredictable and I really didn't think they were going to go that way. So I honestly expected kind of the same thing in this movie, if that makes sense. There was a cute little montage between Ares and Raquel kind of falling back in love and them just doing stuff. And I like how that montage didn't really focus necessarily fully on like sex scenes. It was like them just spending a lot of time together and kind of falling in love. There was like the occasional sex scene, but this movie I feel like focused less on sex scenes and more on just like the relationship between characters and the characters like falling in love or out of love or whatever. But the montage between Ares and Raquel was very cute, and I love how each movie has like a dance sequence. I like that. It's really fun. I also did not expect the Christmas elements in here, so that was nice to kind of get a little bit of Christmas. I did not expect the Artemis and Claudia storyline. I did not anticipate that, and I cried at the scene where Artemis goes to the hospital and everybody's there for Claudia. Martha is like, oh, bring your family up, like we'll all sit together, and she realizes his family is not there and it's just him, and he like starts crying, and I started crying. That scene was so beautiful, but also very heartbreaking. Anna was kind of a pointless character. I understand that she was there kind of as a plot device or somebody to cause conflict, but in my opinion, it just felt like she was replacing somebody else. I mean, the actress was great, but I just think in general the character was definitely pointless. And same with Gregory. Like, I also understand the point, but it just kind of felt unnecessary. I feel like Vera definitely had more of a reason of being there, if that makes sense. But yeah, a lot of the secondary characters just weren't necessary in my opinion, and definitely could have cut down on screen time and added more screen time for other characters that had an actual storyline. I feel like the Delgado brothers bonded a little bit more in this movie, and we got to see them just care more about each other, which I really appreciate. We got to see a little bit more of Raquel's mother, which was nice. Apollo's storyline kind of bored me. I feel like his storylines are always just sexual, like they're always just about sex. And I feel like he doesn't really have a storyline other than that. But I do kind of understand that it's him figuring out his sexuality and just like who he is, I guess. Other than that, I feel like he doesn't really have a storyline. And I wish Dani had more of a storyline. I really liked Daniela, and I wish that she had more going on instead of her just kind of waiting around for Apollo. But I did feel bad for Apollo after everything that happened. I did feel bad for him. He definitely got his heart broken, and that sucks, and I'm glad that Dani was there for him. Like I said, there were a lot of parallels to the first movie, a lot of similarities. I loved how we kind of brought back some of the Wi-Fi hacking situation, and we made references to Raquel's necklace, and there was a certain t-shirt that we got to see that was in the first movie, which I enjoyed those connections to the first movie because I feel like the second movie missed out on a lot of those things. I will say I loved the ending. The ending was so wonderful. I liked seeing the future of Ares and Raquel and seeing a little bit of Artemis and Apollo and their future. I really enjoyed those last few scenes. And yeah, overall, I definitely enjoyed it more than the second movie, but nothing in my opinion can beat the first movie. I loved the first movie. I also do want to say that I watched this third movie in Spanish with English subtitles, and I do want to rewatch it in English just to see if I missed anything or if I didn't fully understand a scene. But overall, I enjoyed this movie. It was fun, it was entertaining, and I am sad that this franchise is over and we won't see these actors as these characters anymore. I am kind of upset about it, considering they barely did any promo for this last movie. There was no red carpet event, there was barely any interviews. I feel like Netflix didn't really do a lot of promo like they did for the first movie. Even the second one, they did a little bit more promo, but this third one, it just feels like they didn't really care, which sucks. I am happy with the way that this story ended, and I am definitely going to rewatch this one and continue rewatching the first one over and over again. Now on to TV shows. So I'm currently watching the new season of Abbott Elementary. The third season is currently airing on TV. I think there are 4 episodes out, 4 or 5, something like that. And I've just been watching them weekly. I really love the show. It is one of my new comfort shows. So far, I'm not obsessed with this season. It is kind of just going in a different direction, I guess, that I'm not super in love with, but I am gonna kind of wait to gather all of my thoughts once the season is over. But I am currently watching Abbott Elementary. And the other TV show that I'm currently watching is Modern Family. I have watched season 1, 2, and 3, and I'm actually currently in the middle of season 4. The first and second season, I have given the show a 3.5 out of 5 stars, and the third season I've given 4 out of 5 stars. I really fell in love with the show around the third season. I feel like that is truly when it picked up for me, where I was like, oh my god, I love this show, like I'm obsessed, I want to keep watching. I remember when this show aired on TV and I just wasn't into it, and I was kind of annoyed by it. I was like, what is this dumb show? Like, I don't care, whatever. It kept winning awards, and I was like, this show can't be that good. For some reason, I don't want to watch anything that is super intense or that is gonna give me anxiety or stress. And so I was like, I need to start a comedy show. I need to start something that's funny and light and easy. And I just randomly decided to watch Modern Family, and I was hooked after the first couple of episodes. It does take you a while to get into the show, if that makes sense. It kind of takes you a minute to understand the comedy and just the vibe of the show. But after I would say like 5 episodes, I really was down with it, and I was like, I want to keep watching this show. And there are 11 seasons, which is crazy, but I'm gonna watch every single episode. I love the family dynamics, I love the characters, I love all the actors. I truly feel like they embody their characters. Each episode gets funnier and funnier, and I'm just really falling in love with these characters and this show, and I can't wait to keep watching. It's just a very fun and entertaining show, and it's quickly becoming a new comfort show for me. So those are all the TV shows and movies that I watched since the beginning of the year. Let me know any of your recent watches, or if you have any recommendations, please leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.